Hello, everybody, and welcome, folks, to our last position rankings. We did it, guys. It was all a blur, really. First time in Oklahoma doing all this shit. You guys already know home is still where the heart is. Thank you guys, all 2.5 of you, for watching all this dumb shit I do. I saved the best for last, my favorite position, wide receiver. It's always going to be this way. Top 25, probably per usual. Really good deep class again, as always. I don't know if last year's is better or not, but it's a good one. I really like it. Top to bottom, a lot of different style of receiver you want. So pick your flavor. As we got C.J. Daniels out of the U, 25. Liked him way more at Liberty. Went to LSU and it just wasn't a good fit. Miami, he was solid X guy. Not gonna get too much separation, but good enough guy. Number 24, Marion Davis, one of the 3 LSU guys. Some people might have the order different, but that's just how I feel watching them. Good yards after the catch, which they all are really. More like a yak guys, not too much on the deep throws, catches, but solid guy. Same thing with Xavier Thomas. He's a little more powerful. Might be the most athletic out of all of them. Might have the highest upside, but I think he was battling some injuries as well as Barrett. I think they all might have had injuries, maybe except for Aaron. Or Aaron, I think at the beginning. No, he definitely had some injuries, so I don't fucking know. Anyway, Kendrick Law, speedy guy, shifty, gadget guy, highly touted from Alabama transfer, so he has some talent to him. And then Aaron Anderson, he's just stuck out to me more. He's just more elusive, shifty, yards after catch guy. Nothing too crazy deep or contested catch or anything like that, but they're all pretty cool to me, and they're all coached up by the best receiver coach in the league. It's your boy Cortez Hankton, now up there in Columbus, getting that promotion. But yeah, number 20, Jordan Hudson out of SMU, another nice, smaller, shifty guy. You guys know I prefer those. But number 19, Jacoby Lane. He's more of a taller, slender, has some athleticism, great hands. He's made some crazy catches. Just isn't, the most athletic, explosive, elusive, shifty guy. But, routes can get a little bit better. 18 and 17, you guys are going to see them way higher. I just don't. We'll just start with Malachi Fields, Notre Dame. Big, strong, physical guy, good hands, but just lacks separation, isn't the best route runner. Same thing with Hurst, just really, I didn't see him separate at all. Most of his catches were contested, which is a great skill set to have, good hands. So I like him a little bit more, but both of them, you'll see them in most people's top 10s. I don't know, guys. I need a little more separation, a little more wiggle. Elijah Surratt out of Indiana, just a traditional. Let me show my man's right here. That might be disrespectful. Yeah, sure-handed receiver. He's like the Alec Ayman, the Michael Wilson, the traditional, solid, 6'2", light-skinned receiver. Isn't the fastest, but, has sure hands, good enough physicality to him. Probably the best at back shoulder catches. Him and Fernando are just money every fucking time. So he'll have a good role in a receiving core for you. 15, a little more upside guys now. Kevin Coleman Jr. out of Missouri, just a very great yak threat, shifty guy in the slot, and, screens and little wide receiver sweeps and shits like that. Same thing with my boy Deion Burks out of Oklahoma. I just think he has a little more juice and wiggle to him. You've seen him a little bit more, a little better hands and more of a downfield threat, but he doesn't traditionally do long negated routes vertically, but he has the speed for it, good enough hands, would be a really good slot guy. 13, the big athletic receiver that I'm banking on is Bryce Lance at North Dakota State. He has really good speed, good deep threat, good enough hands. Route tree is a little limited. I think he can, just get in a system where he's better showcased, but I think he's a good enough route runner. As speaking of which, Antonio Williams out of Clemson, one of the better route runners, just solid, great football player, just all around well balanced. That's just how deep this class is that I couldn't sneak him in the top 10. But he had a lot of buzz, but as every other Clemson player this year, they just didn't develop or go over the hump, hit that next level. But still like him a lot. And Skylar Bell at UConn, really, again, could have snuck him in my top 10. He really impressed me. I was like, who's this UConn receiver getting all these yards and receptions? And to find out he's a transfer from Wisconsin, of all places. God bless any Wisconsin receiver. They don't throw the ball, historically, and with Fickle, he doesn't know what he wants his offense to be. Never really had a good quarterback to implement the air raid. So then he went back to just standard run the ball, Wisconsin. So he was never going to get a shot. But him and Fagino, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I know it sounds funny as fuck, but his quarterback, who's like my QB16, I guess. A lot of people like him and have, he could be a sleeper backup. A guy I should have mentioned, I guess, but yeah, very good things. It's shifty, elusive, good hands, a really good route runner. So I like him a lot. I think he could potentially be a second, third round pick, as well as Bryce and potentially Dion. Like that's how, like third, fourth round. I mean, these guys are probably going to be second, third, fourth round too. Like that's how deep this class is. So let's just get right into my top 10. Put my dumbass back over here. Got my boy Zachariah Branch out of Georgia. Liked him a lot. Liked him since USC days. You guys are just seeing the behind the scenes of me, moving shit around. But projection second round, maybe third. But he's just probably the fastest, most explosive guy in this draft. Great speed. Great yards after the catch, but the main concern is his route tree. Georgia really just gave him dump off screens and jet sweeps. I thought he was a little more versatile at USC when he was in. He had like split time and maybe he had some injuries. I don't know, but he had the production. I got he had like 80-ish catches or maybe even more. But like he finally like had the numbers that the stat sheet watchers, the box score watchers like. So, yeah, 81 receptions. So, he can, get a lot of touches, as you can see. I think he can be a really good slot gadget guy, someone like Percy Harvin, great return man, just explosive, It isn't the most physical guy, obviously. Contested catch won't really happen, but I think he can be a downfield deep ball guy. They didn't really do it a lot, but I think he has it in him as someone kind of similar in that aspect as Casey Concepcion out of Texas A&M. Obviously from NC State as well. Really good slot guy, Z guy. I think he can play outside. He has the route running and the shiftiness and speed to him. Great burst off the line. Just didn't, deep ball production, it just wasn't there a lot. But I think it could be like Calvin Austin-ish, where he's like a smaller guy who can play outside, but he's not that small, really. So I got a Zay Flowers comp. I think he's talented enough to be late first, early second round guy, but just has to clean up the drops. You guys know me, drops and fumbles. It's just a big knock on you, so you'll get penalized a lot. People are saying it's like technique maybe, and like his hands, like hand gripping and shit like that. So maybe that can get coached up or not. Really good talent, dynamic guy with the ball in his hands. Like him a lot, but not as much as some people. Some people have him like way up there, like wide receiver 2 I've seen, top 5. I'm just not there just because how deep this class is. But I do indeed like him a lot. As another guy who's very controversial, Denzel Boston of Washington. Again, another big guy, ex, um, who I've been hesitant on for years, but I think he's a good enough route runner. He gets good enough separation. Again, not as much as I'd want. It's still a lot of contested catches, which luckily he's great at. Great catch radius, big wingspan, solid hands. Can stretch the field. He's a deep ball threat, but he doesn't have top end speed to really separate and get, the long touchdowns. Is the most explosive guy, with the ball in his hands and stuff like that. I think he's a less stronger Cortland Sutton. Cortland is way more built, stronger athlete than Denzel, but Denzel might be a better route runner, really. But similar mold, big, tall X who can, get some space, good, solid hands. Again, like him a lot, but there's just other guys who I, feel more. Jeremy Bernard out of Alabama is one of those guys. He's definitely gonna get drafted lower than the past couple of guys we said, but just has a great high floor. Great hands, great polish, well-rounded receiver. Finds the zone, smart guy. Good route runner. But again, just doesn't have the vertical speeds. He's not gonna be the biggest deep threat guy. Contested catch isn't really there. All right, catch radius, nothing too crazy. Get enough blocker. So I felt, just how he looks, his style, how he moves, and his abilities is Chris Godwin, to me personally. Can be a bigger slot guy, maybe a Z guy. And really help your offense, move the chains. So he's one of my guys. 6, Chris Bell as well out of Louisville. Projection second round because of the alarming health injuries, which there's a couple guys in this class that do have that, but when he's on the field, he's really great. Yards after the catch, good physicality, good enough hands, but he just doesn't have a big route tree, especially downfield. Wasn't there. Short area quickness, on man coverage. He can get off the line more, and you wonder if he'll be able to just beat man consistently. So I'd say make him a XZ. Use him like Deebo Samuel. He has that, built to him, compacted, almost big running back style, really good. Ball carrier. I guess the low-end comps are Xavier Legette, if you guys remember how he was. I just think he has, more juice to him, more dynamic plays to him when he was healthy. But if the ACL or MCL, I forgot whatever it was, scares you enough, then I don't blame you. But I just see the upside personally higher than some of the other guys we've been talking about. Speaking of upside, man, Chris Brazzell II at Tennessee. I mean, he has it, man. He top 5. Yeah, I mean, him at his best, he could probably be top 3 in this class. I like him a lot. He's not like your typical Tennessee receiver the past couple of years where he's just speed guy and messed up, limited route tree, can't run routes. I think he's a very good mover for his size. I've liked him since Tulane with Michael Pratt and them. I've been watching him since then. Saw the talent there. Was wondering why his first year Tennessee didn't go well, but now he really broke out in the scene. Great ball tracking. When the ball's up in the air, he can make really good catches, good ball skills, good enough contested catch, great speed for his size, but isn't the biggest, the strongest guy. His play strength can be a little bit better. You wonder if he can beat man consistently, in the NFL, and then yards after the catch isn't anything too crazy, but great talent, boomer bust, I guess. Concerns, I guess, that if he's not all around developed enough, and will he be able to run excellent routes and get enough separation? But I think it's all there personally. I think he might have had some injuries too, but if you guys remember Martavis Bryant for my Steelers, when he was on the field and not weed and shit, and him at Clemson was just a great big body receiver, but had speed and agility and separation to him. Really good athlete. So I like him a lot. He's very polarizing as well. People are really high on him, like baby Randy Moss comps, and other people have him like his wide receiver 13. So it is what it is. I got Omar Cooper Jr. out of Indiana. Another one, first, second round guy. A guy who I thought I was going to be higher on than most people, but nope. Some people have him second. Fucking second best receiver in this class. But I do like him a lot. I always thought he was the better receiver, even since last year of Surratt. Just does more. Yards up the catch, physicality, great hands, smooth route runner, great IQ. Just with that Indiana offense, just the route tree wasn't there. So you want him to be with a guy or a team who can expand it. I think he can do that because I've got a Jarvis Landry comp, one of my favorite wide receivers of the 2010s. He was a really good route runner. He's not gonna beat you over the top or have great physical, vertical speed downfield. Catch radius isn't the best, but I think he'd just be a great slot, like one of the better slot receivers in this league. He has the talent for it. Good guy, like him a lot. Good guy, great guy, like him a lot. As well as Mekhi Lemon, very close, but he's just been more consistent, probably more highs of highs. Great toughness, great IQ, knows how to drop in zone coverage and, get in the open holes, great hands, doesn't have many drops. Again, just great, well-rounded slot guy, which isn't a knock, but, he's never going to be an outside guy, beat you man-to-man. The vertical speed, vertically, is lots left to be desired, and again, not much of a catch radius. But again, his USC brother, Amon-Ra St. Brown, I see it. It's not a lazy comp just because they both went to USC. Just the play style, the mentality is there. People kind of were low on him because of his combine interview. He was making goofy faces, so people think he's a weirdo or might have some off the field concerns, even though we never heard it all 3 years at USC. So I think that's bullshit. I think he'll be a first-round pick. Just where exactly, we don't know. But great guy, elite guy to me, slot guy. That's why I love this wide receiver class. Guys like him. And guys like this guy. Jordan Tyson, very close to one. I just like Cornell a little bit more. And Cornell doesn't have a lingering hamstring and all these other injuries. From what we've seen now since I've recorded this on the 18th, 19th now, April 19th, he had his own little pro day workout. He seems ready, and from all reports, teams seem comfortable with him, and he's gonna be a surefire first round pick. There's a lot of talks about him sliding dramatically in the draft, like the 20s. I don't think that's the case anymore. Just great, the perfect blend of route running, catch radius, get up and get it, fluid guy, twitchy guy. He's just a beast, man. He really game changer, playmaker when he's on the field. Highly productive. Doesn't have the play strength that you want or the contact balance. For the yards at the catch. He's not going to really break any tackles and get too many extra yards, but I don't know. I haven't seen this comp, but me watching him, how he moves, man, I see Odell Beckham. I see some OBJ in him. Maybe not Giants, super cracked out Odell, but Browns Odell, Rams Odell, still very productive, still was a fluid guy, great catch radius, hands for a guy his size. Good route runner, just smooth, man. He's just smooth. It's effortless. It's easy. It's light work for him. He's a monster. Like him a lot. But he's just not Cornell Tater. I gotta get Gus Johnson out of here. Out of the guy. You guys are gonna think I'm biased again, but I had fucking Emeka Egbuka at 3 last year, and he almost won Rookie of the Year. So I should have hit him one as well. We're just a factory over here, man. Champion, leader, first round pick. might be top 5, top 10. I'm not the only one that thinks he's number one. And just this is the greatest picture of all time. I mean, doing the Paul Bunyan trophy stance in Ann Arbor. Fuck those motherfuckers. But anyway, it's a great day. It was a great day. Great hands. Not many drops. Really at all. I don't remember any, really. Great contested catch. Again, smooth, fluid mover. Really good route runner. He just gets it. He just gets football. Great athlete. You want him to be a little more physical. He can get jammed sometimes, but I think he can do it if he really gets coached up and gets that dog in him. It's not like he was just beat all the time on press man, but and isn't the most elusive guy with the ball in his hands. But again, I watch him and I see shades of Devontae Adams in him. Now, of course, he's not as good as a route runner Devontae is. Devontae's like a top 5 route runner ever, human being, but just his size, his built, his number, I guess, the gear that they wear is kind of similar really too, but just how he moves and the skill set he has. Again, that's usually why I do comps when I actually have a comp in mind. Some people want to compare him to T. Higgins and George Pickens. Are both great receivers who I love, who, I comped Pickens to Higgins. But I just think he's more refined in his route running than them. Can beat you in a little bit more ways. But those guys are monsters. So if he just lives up to their hype, that'll be great. But Cornell's my boy. I love him a lot. And a great receiving class. I think he's finally 1A in this scenario. Being the other outside receiver to Jeremiah Smith is not a knock. All right, any one of these guys would as well. So I'm not going to knock him for it. And most NFL receivers would as well. So yeah, y'all can't wait for next year. I might just compare Jeremiah to God. That just might be his comp. But Cornell's a beast. Had that hamstring injury, came back, shitted on Michigan. What more do you want? He's a champion, and you love to see it. And you love to see my position rankings, folks. Very proud of it. I've overcame a lot of adversity to do this dumbass shit. Guys, it's been your boy King Kaleb here, signing the fuck out.